Most people think weak legs are just a normal part of aging, something you can't avoid. But what if the real problem isn't your age? What if three hidden vitamin deficiencies are secretly stealing your strength, balance, and ability to move freely? The truth is, many doctors know this, but it's not something you'll hear about in the news. Today we're revealing what the experts really say and how you can fight back to stay strong and active well into your 90s. Imagine walking with confidence, keeping your balance, and staying independent for years to come. It's possible, but only if you take action now. In this video, we'll break down the three critical vitamins your body desperately needs to keep your legs strong. Don't miss this life-changing information. If you want to stay mobile and avoid the struggles of weak legs, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tips that doctors don't always share. Have you or someone you know struggled with weak legs or poor balance? Maybe you've already tried supplements or exercises without success. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. And if you're ready to take control of your health, stay tuned until the end. Number 1. You think calcium alone protects your bones, but without D3, it's useless. Margaret had always been the careful type. At 82, she took her calcium pill every morning like clockwork, convinced it was her shield against broken hips and fragile bones. Then came the day when a simple step off the curb shattered that illusion. Literally, the sharp crack of her hip breaking echoed in her ears as she crumpled to the pavement. In the emergency room, her doctor delivered the gut punch. All that calcium was practically useless. Your body never absorbed it. The culprit? A severe vitamin D3 deficiency, so common yet so often overlooked. Without enough D3, Margaret's body had been starving for calcium even as she swallowed it daily. Her bones grew porous, her muscles weak and shaky. Think of calcium as bricks, her doctor said, and D3 as the bricklayer. Without the bricklayer, you've just got a pile of bricks. Worse, her dwindling muscle strength, also tied to low D3, had turned minor stumbles into disasters waiting to happen. Margaret's turnaround began with two small changes: a daily D3 supplement and 20 minutes of morning sunlight. At first, she didn't notice much, until the day she realized she'd carried groceries from the car without pausing to catch her breath. Her legs felt steadier, her balance surer. Within months, she was gardening again, bending and lifting without that old fear whispering in her ear. The difference wasn't just in her bones, it was in her strength, her energy, her confidence. Calcium had always taken center stage in Margaret's mind, but now she understood. D3 was the unsung hero. It didn't just help absorb calcium, it fueled the muscles that kept her upright and agile. Without it, calcium was like a car without gas. All the right parts, but no power to move. Margaret's grandkids teased her about her new sunbathing habit, but she didn't mind. She'd learned the hard way that real health isn't about a single magic pill. It's about giving your body what it truly needs to thrive. These days, Margaret still takes her calcium, but now she pairs it with D3 like peanut butter and jelly. She strolls through the park every morning, sunlight on her face, no longer haunted by the fear of another fall. Her bones are stronger, her muscles steadier, and that simple step off the curb, just another part of her day. Not a disaster waiting to happen, because now she knows strong bones aren't just about what you take, but what your body actually keeps. Number 2, you've never heard of vitamin K2, but it could be saving your knees. James had always been active, but at 76, his knees had other plans. Every morning began with a symphony of cracks and pops, and simple walks felt like climbing mountains. His doctor shrugged it off as arthritis, just another part of getting older. But James wasn't convinced. If this was normal, why did it feel so wrong? A blood test revealed the truth. His calcium was drifting into his arteries and joints instead of fortifying his bones. The diagnosis made sense, but the solution was something nobody had mentioned. Vitamin K2. Most of us know calcium builds strong bones, but few realize it doesn't work alone. Imagine calcium as a delivery truck. Without the right directions, it drops its load in the wrong places. That's where vitamin K2 steps in, acting like a GPS, steering calcium straight to the bones and away from soft tissues. Without enough K2, calcium can clog arteries, stiffen joints, and leave bones brittle. The problem? Modern diets are often missing this unsung hero, hiding in fermented foods and certain animal products. James had spent years unknowingly running on empty, so he decided to try something simple. He added natto, a sticky, fermented soybean dish packed with K2, to his breakfast, along with egg yolks and grass-fed cheese. He also took a supplement to fill the gaps. At first, the changes were subtle, less stiffness when he stood up, fewer creaks on the stairs. But after 2 months, the difference was undeniable. His knees moved smoothly, his walks felt effortless, and even his balance improved. It was as if his body had been waiting for this one missing piece all along. The real shock came at his next cardiologist visit. His scans showed clearer arteries, a sign that calcium was no longer building up where it didn't belong. His doctor was intrigued. How had James managed this without medication? The answer was so simple it almost seemed too good to be true. But the proof was in how he felt. Lighter, sharper, more alive. James's story isn't about a miracle cure. It's about a nutrient most people have never heard of, quietly working behind the scenes. Vitamin K2 doesn't make headlines, but for those who discover it, the difference can be life-changing. James still shakes his head when he thinks about it. All those years of discomfort, and the solution was on his plate the whole time. Now he moves with a freedom he thought was lost forever. Proof that sometimes the smallest tweak can rewrite the story of your health. Number 3, you blame aging for wobbliness, but it could be a B12 deficiency. Gloria had always been active, the kind of person who didn't let age slow her down. But something had changed over the past year. She felt unsteady on her feet, as if the ground shifted beneath her when she walked. Simple things like climbing the stairs became difficult. Her legs felt weak, and there was an odd tingling in her feet she couldn't explain. At first, she brushed it off. Her friends and even her doctors suggested it was just part of getting older, maybe a touch of neuropathy or simply her body slowing down. But deep down, Gloria wasn't convinced. She knew her body, and this didn't feel like a normal part of aging. She had always been sharp and coordinated, and now she found herself struggling to concentrate and stumbling over her own feet. It felt like her body was betraying her, and no one seemed to be offering any answers that made sense. Just when she was beginning to accept it as her new reality, she met a geriatrician who wanted to look deeper, not just chalk everything up to age. After some tests, the answer came back: severe vitamin B12 deficiency. Gloria was stunned. She had never even considered that something as small as a vitamin could cause all these problems. The doctor explained that B12 is vital for nerve function and muscle coordination, and as people get older, their bodies often can't absorb it well, especially due to changes in stomach acid. That single piece of information changed everything. Suddenly, Gloria had hope. The treatment started right away. She began receiving regular B12 shots and took sublingual tablets that dissolved under her tongue for better absorption. It didn't take long for the changes to begin. The tingling in her feet faded first. Then her legs began to feel stronger. Slowly but surely, her balance improved. She wasn't reaching for walls or holding onto railings anymore. It felt like her body was waking up after a long sleep. Within weeks, Gloria felt like herself again. She could walk without fear, think clearly, and move with the confidence she thought she had lost forever. The stairs that once felt like mountains were no longer a challenge. All along, it hadn't been age. It had been a treatable deficiency. And thanks to one doctor who looked beyond the obvious, Gloria got her life back. As we age, it's easy to think that slower steps and weaker legs are just part of getting older. But what if there's more to the story? What if the real reason behind those wobbly stairs or unsteady walks isn't just age, but something that's been quietly missing from your body for years? New research is pointing to a powerful but often overlooked connection. 3 key nutrients, vitamin D3, K2, and B12. Together, they form what doctors are now calling the mobility triangle. And they may be the missing link to staying strong and steady well into your later years. Think of these nutrients as your body's behind-the-scenes support team. D3 helps your muscles move and keeps your bones strong. K2 makes sure calcium goes to the right places, like your bones, not your arteries. and B12 fuels your nerves, balance, and coordination. When even one of these falls low, things can slowly start to unravel. You might not notice it right away, but then a simple step feels harder, or your balance feels off, and you start to rely more on railings or avoid walks altogether. This isn't about magic pills or some miracle solution. It's about giving your body what it's quietly been asking for. These deficiencies can creep in without warning, especially as we get older, and they rarely show up in obvious ways.